Share with you how to use some of the drawing tools on the Tastytrade Desktop Platform. None of the information in this video should be considered financial advice. The purpose of this video is strictly for informational and entertainment purposes. So, some of the more popular drawing tools that many traders like to use when analyzing the charts are Fibonacci retracement tools. There are various line tools, shape tools like triangles, squares, and circles. And so I want to demo some of these more popular tools, and we're about to just jump right into it. So let's get started. So first tool that I'd like to demonstrate is the Fibonacci retracement tool. If you go up into this toolbar here on the platform and you use the drop down menu and you select Fibonacci retracement, which is further down here, you can select this, and what you need is for the Fibonacci tool is a start point and an end point. So many traders may say, well, this looks like a swing high and this looks like a swing low on this section of the chart. So I am going to click, I'm going to do a left click here, starting at my swing high level, and then I'm going to bring it all the way over to my swing low, and I will do a second left click, and now I have all of these different levels, which are Fibonacci levels, that you can review and see how price reacts to those levels. If you need more information about Fibonacci and how the different levels work, plenty of videos on YouTube or your own research to go through and look at the theory behind Fibonacci. So now that I've got this this drawing tool on the chart, I'm going to go and select the node tool, because if I just try to click around with it selected, I would draw additional Fibonacci levels, and I don't want that. So now that I have the node tool, so my mouse is just regular now, I'm going to double click on it, and now I've get different options for Fibonacci here. And so here, let's say that I wanted to change a level. Let's say I don't like that 0.764. I do have the option of double clicking into it to highlight it, and I could modify it. So I can modify that 0.764. Let's say I want to use a 0.786 instead. As you can see, when I did that, the level from 0.764 changed to 786 here. So now I have that level available. I can also select prices if you want to see prices on the chart. So I'm going to deselect that. I can look at the levels as percentages. And so you can see percentages instead of the decimal related levels. And then if you wanted to, you can click on the left extension and it would move those drawings over to the left. But I don't want to do that, so I'm going to unclick it and I will just close out. And so that's the Fibonacci tool. A lot of people would look at the chart and say, okay, well, I see that 618 is a level that price turned at, so maybe people would want to go through and trade that. Again, not financial advice. Do your own research on how to use Fibonacci and whether or not that's something that you want to incorporate into your trading. So let's move on to another tool. Let's take a look at the triangle tool. Because most people, well, I shouldn't say most, but there are some traders out there that do like to use Fibonacci's in conjunction with triangles to do harmonic patterns. And so I'm going to select the triangle tool here, and I'll start here with this same swing high, and I will do my first click there, my first left click, and I'll take it down to this swing low that we had identified, and do my second click there. And then I will bring up this third piece of the triangle up to that same 618 level that we were looking at. And then I will stop that right here and do my click. And so let's say that if I'm looking at a harmonic pattern, I want to do another one. So I'm going to start at that same 618 level and do a left click here, and I'll take it down to the end of this second swing and do a second click. And then if I bring it up to that same 786 level that we were talking about before and do my last and final click, I have what some traders would consider a Gartley pattern. It's a popular pattern in the harmonics trading world. Again, feel free to do your own research on the harmonic patterns. Plenty of information out there on those. And so some people may look at this and say, well, I like trading harmonic patterns. Using this triangle tool could help you draw those patterns within the platform. And so that's the Fibonacci, the tool and how to draw it, and also the triangle and how to draw that on your chart. So if I wanted to get rid of these, I can just go through and say, go back to say the no tool, and then I can just select it. If I want to get rid of that Fibonacci, I could just do a right click on it and say remove drawing, and I'll get a dialog box asking me if I really want to remove the drawing. I'm going to say yes. So that drawing is now gone, and the only thing I have left here is the triangles that I drew. So let's move on and let's look at another tool. Many traders are big into support and resistance, and so there is a horizontal price level drawing tool here. So if I select that tool, I can just place it anywhere on my chart, and as you can see, there is a horizontal line that extends both left and right. And again, if I want to edit that line, I want to go to no tool, because if I don't go to no tool, it will draw additional lines every time I click. So let's say now that I've selected it, I can just move it up and down, and I may want to see where, you know, multiple levels touch, because some people consider those good areas to trade in. So here is an area where you've got 1, 2, 3 areas where price touched that level and reacted to it. So some people may want to trade off those levels. And so if I double click on it, let's say that I don't like the fact that this line is like the same color as the triangle box. I can just change it over here in the color section to, let's say, red. And if your eyes aren't really good and that looks a little light, I can change the width. So I'm going to double click inside the width, and instead of having a 1 weight, I'm going to change that to 3. So now I can see that a little bit better, and I'll close out the box. All right, so this looks a whole lot cleaner for me to look at, and if I wanted to, I could right click on it and I can duplicate that drawing. And so you saw that I did right click, duplicate, and then I can pull that level down to say another area. So maybe this is also an area of interest to me. And so I pull it down, and duplicating it makes it a whole lot easier, because now I don't have to go back and select it and redraw it, etc., etc. So that's how you could use a horizontal tool using the price line to get you more of a support and resistance type of line on your charts. So let's say that you're not really into support and resistance, and you're more of a supply and demand type person. Well, you could use the drop down here and go in here towards the bottom. There is a rectangle tool. So if you select the rectangle, you may look at some of these areas and say, you know, I'm not really big into support and resistance. I like supply and demand. I think that this level here, where I see this area where price went up and then it kind of went sideways, that's an area of interest to me, and I would like to draw, say, supply and demand based off of that level. So what I do, now that I've got the rectangle tool, I can just draw a rectangle around this area of congestion or consolidation, and now I've got a rectangle around it. So this is an area that would interest me. So one thing that I would do, and it's all your preference on it, but again, the blue box doesn't really help my eye get drawn to this level. So I'm going to select the no tool again, and then I will double click. Let's try right click. I'm sorry, the double click. I double clicked into that not the triangle, but the rectangle, and I'm going to change the color. Changing the color to yellow, now my eye is drawn more to that area. And so now that I've got this as yellow, I'm going to select another line because I need some lines to extend from this yellow box so that when price comes back to it, I can see that it aligns to this yellow box. So I'm going to go out and select another line. How about this horizontal ray? So if I select horizontal ray and I just clicked it next to it, you see that a box started and extends to the right where I clicked it. So again, I could go through. No tool allows me to click it once and then edit it. And so now I bring the level close to that, the top of that, that rectangle. And then if I right click on it, I can duplicate that same drawing. And now I can put it at the bottom of the rectangle. And now some people that trade supply and demand may say, yeah, this is a supply level. The expectation is that if price comes back into this level, this may be an opportunity to sell. So again, not financial advice. Many videos on YouTube on supply and demand, but this is how you would use the tool. And so we've talked about the rectangles, we've talked about horizontal support and resistance level and how to draw those on the chart. One thing that may also help you and help draw your eye to different points on the chart is maybe you want to circle some areas that seem interesting. So we've already looked at this and we said, okay, well, we see this level here, price reacted off to this level, price reacted to this level, and then price looks like it reacted to this level. So what if we could just draw some circles on it? So I'm going to select the oval tool, and now I'm going to do a left click once, left click again, and just pull it out to either down, right, left, and now I've got a circle. And so let me final click. And so now I've got a circle that can help draw my eye to this area. And then again, if I do a right click on it, I can duplicate that drawing and I can move it and say, well, there's that second level that I was looking at. And then I can do another right click on it, duplicate it. And then here's that third area. So now I see when I'm looking at this chart, let's say I come back later, I say, okay, well, I see here's where price reacted. There's a second time price reacted and a third time. So this may be a level that interests me if I was using, say, support and resistance and I wanted to trade it down. So that's basically some of the more popular drawing tools in the Tastytrade Desktop Platform. And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel for more trading platform tutorials. Thank you all and have a good day.